Hi guys, so a bit different this week. I thought I'd just do a little bit of a chat about how much it's costing us to live full-time in a motorhome with 2 kids whilst travelling around Europe. It's a question I get asked a lot, so I thought I'd just kind of do a little video on it. I've managed to kick out everybody. They've all gone around town, have a little nosy around Sinop, which is where we are at the moment on the Black Sea in Turkey. So I've got the place to myself, so I thought I'd get this done now. Budget, well, it's massive. It's a massive topic, and I think it's something that not everyone wants to talk about. I think it's important because when I was thinking about, or when we were thinking about doing this lifestyle, it would have been great to have a rough idea of what it costs to live like this. I want to be as honest as possible. I'm not going to talk about insurances, all those kind of things that go out extra. I'm not going to talk about data, because data, it is an expense actually. It's one of our biggest outgoings, but that is going to be very much dependent on the deals you have with your mobile provider and that kind of stuff. So that could be a whole nother topic, to be honest with you. In fact, data's been the bane of our lives. It's been a nightmare trying to work out how best to handle data when travelling around Europe. But yeah, so I won't include data. I'm not going to include about insurances, things like that. That's all different. This is all I'm talking about now, is things like food, groceries, fuel, tolls, laundry, eating out, excursions, buying a few bits of clothing, all those things that you have to do just to live on the road. That is kind of what I'm focusing on today. Budget. So we had a budget, and those who've watched us from the beginning know that we had a bit of a wobble a couple of months ago whether we were going to carry on or not. We were in Greece and we were finding that our budget was through the roof. We were like way off, and we kind of thought, should we carry on? Is this just crazy? But we didn't. We stuck with it. We decided to head over to Turkey, which is where we are now, because obviously it's much cheaper here. I mean, we're talking 73 pence a litre for diesel, and you can go and buy a kebab and a drink for £1. I mean, it's just really cheap here. It's a great place. The only downside with Turkey is, of course, that you can only get green card insurance, and it's a gamble. When you're driving around, you've got to be really careful. We're always a little bit anxious about if anything goes wrong with the motorhome or anyone bumps into us. Anyway, that's again going off topic. I'm going off topic, I know I am, so I'm going to go back to my topic. Budget. So our budget, when we set off, I'm a bit embarrassed to say this because we have not made budget once yet. In the 8 months that we have been on the road, we have not once managed to achieve this budget. £1,250, yeah, a month, and that's to include food, fuel, tolls, things like campsites that we might use, you know, parking fees, eating out, excursions, day trips, little things that we buy. So it was everything, laundry, everything was included in that £1,200 a month budget. And yeah, that has not happened. The closest month we got was £1,700. That was our first month in Europe. We probably only made that budget though because most of that month we were driving south as fast as possible through France and Spain, because we'd spent 3 months in bloody England winter weather and we were desperate for some sunshine, and we promised the kids we'd get to some swimming pools and some sunshine and beaches. So we hurtled down through France and Spain and got to Portugal, and that was our cheapest month on the road, and that was, as I said, £1,700, because we barely ate out. We didn't do very much in the way of sightseeing. It was mainly just spent on fuel and a few big supermarket shops. The worst month we've had so far for budget was £3,500, and that was when we were around south of France and Italy, getting over to Albania. I think it was around those months, and I think a lot of that was we were using campsites a fair bit. We were finding our feet, I think, is the main thing with this lifestyle. I think there's a lot of fear involved in going to free park-ups. We'd had a few bad experiences that made us a little bit anxious about going to the free park-ups. So I think we were treating it a bit too much like a holiday and staying on campsites, and that blew the budget, and that was at that point that we panicked. Since then, we've managed to bring it back down, and we're hovering around the £2,000 a month, £2,500 a month budget. And remember, that's not including any insurances or phone stuff. No, actually, I tell a lie. Some of the phone data is included in that, because when we're now in Turkey, when we top up, we use our Revolut card. So some of it is, but the not including like your phone contracts, they're not included. But data, in buying the local SIM cards, that is included in that budget. Sorry if I'm confusing anybody there. We are spending more in Turkey on eating out and enjoying ourselves and sightseeing, because the cost of fuel and food is so much cheaper. So I think realistically, on fuel, toll roads if you go on them, and things like the odd parking campsite fees, you're talking probably £550 to £800 a month if you're travelling a lot like we are. Food, groceries, more like £500 to £800 a month. Now, I'm attributing this a little bit to the fact that when you are in a motorhome, you can't go and do a huge food shop like you can at home and fill up all your cupboards. We haven't got much space, and the fridge is only small. So what we're finding is that we're going to the supermarkets and local shops a lot more frequently than I would have done at home. And as anybody out there who's got kids knows, that when you go to the supermarket with your children in tow, even if you're only going in for 2 or 3 essential items, you will end up walking out with a million other things that you hadn't planned on buying. And that even includes a husband who has a little bit of a snack addiction. He's also going through quitting smoking at the moment, which has been nearly a month now. Bless him. He's done so well, Sam, not smoking. So he has got a little bit of a fetish with regards to sweets and things at the moment. So yeah, we're always topping those up, but I'd rather that than the smoking, obviously. So yeah, and also eating out and sightseeing and all those things, we are spending way more than we planned on that. We're kind of spending, I would say, double, if sometimes triple, the £400 budget. I think it's important though, because otherwise you're travelling and not really seeing everything. The things that we want to show the kids are often paid for museums, or we did some rafting with them, whitewater rafting, all those things, they do add up. So yeah, I'd say eating out, although we do rein that in, we don't eat out very often, because it is a big expense when there's 4 people eating like adult meals. It's crazy. So we try to limit that, but still, the eating out, the entertainment budget, the sightseeing budget, we're still, I would say, for £500 to £1,000 a month with that. So yeah, that's a lot. Laundry is next to nothing really, because we've learned to wear things more than once. The kids are getting better at realising that they have to wear things over and over. I don't let them put anything in the laundry bin unless it's filthy. The only thing is, I hate the fact we can't wash our bedding as often, which is a bit of a pain. But these are the things that you have to live with on the road. So yeah, I hope that kind of gives people an idea of what we're spending is day-to-day costs. I would say you're talking £2,000 to £3,000 a month. So yeah, I think it's about right. I'm sure there's people out there, in fact I know there are people out there who are doing this on a cheaper budget than we are on, and to be fair, we could do with taking a leaf out of their book, because we have no money left if we carry on like this. But anyway, I think you have to be quite strict, and you have to be really good at feeling confident in stopping anywhere and not caring if it's at the side of the road, or if there's a lot of dodgy characters around, or kids playing their music till 2 in the morning. these are things that we are learning. I think the longer we travel for, the easier it will be to kind of rein in the budget. It's just been such a shock to the system, if you like, going from a house straight into a motorhome and straight to travelling is a lot, really. And I think we've made mistakes, we've learnt by them, we've learnt to slow down, we've learnt to just not pay for campsites unless we absolutely have to, and we're learning about things like how to get data cheaper, and you know what to do with those things, when we should eat out, when we shouldn't eat out, all these things. It definitely takes time to kind of understand. But anyway, I won't ramble on too much. I just wanted to give people an idea roughly of how much this type of lifestyle costs. And one thing to mention actually is I am talking about us as a family travelling. We aren't living van life in the UK. We're not staying in one place. We are combining this with an adventure. So we are going to be paying out more. And if you weren't doing that, if you were living van life in the UK, as some people do, in one spot or very few spots, not, you know, commuting to work still or having to work, and you know, there's different ways. Van life looks different to many people, and it's what, you know, how you're living your life is going to be different to other people's. But for us, for living full time, traveling a long way through Europe, seeing so many countries, realistically, not including your insurances and your phone contracts and other things that you might have going out, direct debits, I would say 2 to 3 grand a month is probably about right. I may be, please let me know if you think I'm wrong. I'd love to know. I'd love to get some feedback. So please, if you've got any more questions, anything you want to ask us, just pop a comment and I'll reply to it. So yeah, I think that'll be it for today. I hope it's helped. Thanks to everybody that's subscribed so far. We really appreciate it. It's really nice that you've taken the time to subscribe. Anyone that hasn't yet, please do subscribe. It makes all the difference to us. Leave a comment. We'd love it if you did that. That'd be lovely. And next week, hopefully, normal service will be resumed as we travel west towards Istanbul. And then we'll have to have a think about what we're going to do after that. We haven't fully decided yet whether we're going to do Bulgaria. We've heard mixed things about Bulgaria, so not sure. We've already been through Greece. I don't really want to go back the same way, but it might be that is the route we go down, because we didn't do North Albania, so we do want to do that. And then of course we've got Montenegro and Croatia, Slovenia, all those places yet that we still want to see. So yeah, please keep watching and let me know if you've got any questions, and hope it was helpful. Catch you later.